diva can be like Jordan when you
I'm
know.
not a diva.
Well, you do lean into it a bit, love.
There will be a stage where I'm being wheeled into the dinner hall going, and there was 80,000 of them.
We'll one day maybe reveal what happened on Monday.
Brown Monday.
Hello and welcome to Capital Breakfast After the Show. I'm Jordan North, he's Chris Stark, that lovely lady over there, Sian Welby, and we are here just about to recovering from Capital's Summertime Ball. So it's been Summertime Ball week, which is always fun, but now we're on a bit of a ball come down, aren't we? We've all got ball ache, as you called it, Chris Stark.
Wow, yeah. It is a kind of ball ache, and it's sort of... You're on your feet the whole time. You're doing a lot of running around. There's these spikes of adrenaline that you have when you get to present, and do the bits that we get to do at the Summertime Ball. You're out on stage in front of lots and lots of people, so you have these big ups, and then you have these like moments of tiredness because you're not really sleeping much. There's lots of rehearsals. I think this episode's going to be all about the Summertime Ball, and we're going to talk about some of the amazing things that happened, especially behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But also, we can sort of talk you through what we get up to, and maybe you can sort of see it from our side and understand what we get up to, because we do get asked like why are you so
Tired?
broken?
Yeah.
Like,
and everyone thinks we're rock and roll and we've been at after parties and we're hammered. Way!
Yeah.
We're not.
I didn't have a drink all weekend.
I did have one cocktail because there's like little backstage bars and stuff, but it's hardly a
And a
rock
shot.
and roll story. We did do a shot, didn't
We had a
we?
shot.
Did you?
Yeah,
did
I
have a
wish
shot.
I'd done a few more, to be honest.
I weren't allowed alcohol because I was on lots of medication for my impacted wisdom tooth. That was very, very painful. So on Friday, I was just in agony, weren't I?
Well, you couldn't write that, could you?
No, so Thursday night it started happening. Friday morning I woke up, did the show, and I knew it was my wisdom tooth straight away. So to the point where my dentist had to come out during the show and have a look at my tooth, and then gave me a load of painkillers and some antibiotics. And then Friday during rehearsal, so we were rehearsing till Friday night, weren't we?
We're rehearsing till
Can't
10
remember.
p.m. on Friday.
Yeah,
That's where the delirium starts to kick in, because that's like a 20-hour day.
And we were just
and then it carries on Saturday with rehearsals, and then we finally do a show in front of 80,000 on the Sunday, and then we're back into work 5 a.m. Monday. So as much as like we're not moaning, this is a safe space because you're our mates here, so we can say sometimes we do have a bit of a moan, only because we're tired. You would in
knackered.
any job. It wouldn't matter if you're a spaceman, you're going to have a moan about something, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. And also, in between all those things, you're doing interviews and you're filming little bits, or someone will grab you and say, "Can you do this video for this?" Or you're doing a little tour for people. It is just wonderfully chaotic.
Yes.
And we do get to do so many cool things. The people that we got to interview during the Summertime Ball obviously is
surreal
very
this
special.
year.
We had an amazing moment with Mariah Carey, which I think we're going to get into in a little bit.
We've got to get into that.
But just hanging out with you two at these events, the one thing I wanted to kick this off with is as a little reflective bit, because you know me, I like to get emotional about this sort of stuff. The fact we get to stand in the middle of Wembley Stadium, and I particularly notice it actually when we do that Friday night rehearsal and the
Same.
stadium's empty and us three are stood in the middle and sort of just chatting nonsense. And I love that moment, and it's not lost on me that we get to do this incredible thing. For me, especially as a football fan as well, the thought that we would get to be able to do what we do in the middle of Wembley Stadium, I really genuinely could never have imagined it when I was, 10, 11,
Yeah.
12. It really is one of those moments you've got to look back on, and all the jobs that we've done and all the things that we've got through, and it's just such a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I get so nervous though. I don't enjoy it as much as I should.
I have to give you loads of pep talks.
You did. You kept saying to me, "Come on, enjoy this." But I get so nervous. I've got such terrible stage fright, and I'm not just saying. I get like in my head, I'm just like, "Don't mess this link up. There's 80,000 people. Don't lose your place. Like, don't keep looking at your cue cards. You don't need them." And I get in my head so much about it that I don't really start enjoying it until halfway through, when I'm like, right, I know I can do this.
Once we're up there, you come to life.
Yeah.
You're absolutely fine. But in your defence, you have got dyslexia. I reckon you've got a different level of fear because it is words.
Yeah.
It's all words, isn't it?
So I'm just worried I'm going to trip up, say the wrong thing, introduce the wrong artist, which is a very me thing to do. But for something like that, you don't want to do it in front of 80,000 people.
Oh, and you can get right in your head about it. It's very exposing. Can I tell you another level of enjoyment that you get from this, though, especially in my sort of experience of being in radio, and Sean, you'll have it still to come, and I really hope you have it one day, Jordan, as well. Is being able to do something like that, which obviously feels amazing for yourself, but it's the fact my daughter could watch it. And I love, more than getting to do the ball, from my point of view, is knowing what she must be seeing. And I just love that I get to be her dad in the middle of that stadium. Whatever happens to me one day, I know it's the kind of thing she would get older about and say, oh, my dad used to do this, and that makes me so proud. I actually love to imagine, and then we get a little moment where we get to go up and see our families and chill with them for a little bit and enjoy a bit of the music, and that is so special. So even if you're in your head about it, as you're describing, Jordan, one of the nice things when you finish it and that, and quite nice to share on this podcast, is that we get to do this and our families get to be there, and
that's
cool
true
for them as well.
And we got a chance to go up afterwards and see him during Mariah, which was a nice moment. I met Sean's mum as well. She's lovely.
She's
so lovely.
She loves you, both of you too. She absolutely adores you.
I'm quite over dramatic about these things, aren't I?
No, I quite like it. I think what I always think is that we need to book our place in the old people's home now together.
Yes.
Because I fast forward, a bit like what you're saying, there will be a stage where I'm being wheeled into the dinner hall going, and there was 80,000 of them. And I promise you, no, her name was Mariah Carey. You won't have heard of her.
He was a man, the Bong Man. He was dressed in blue.
It's hard to explain. He had a case of money. Well, let me backtrack. We did a competition every day. Like, I know that there'll be a stage where there's nurses rolling their eyes going, shut up. Or have you heard Mrs. Welby over there? She's lost the plot.
There is an old people's home for thespians in London.
I need to go to that one.
Like a showbiz one because she'll be on.
Oh, can you imagine
when you get on
stories?
This Morning as well? Oh God, she's on This Morning. Like as in, like they'll come and get you and you'll be talking about this.
I'll be on the sofa interviewing the poor chef or someone that's come to give me my biscuits. Sit down, love. Thank you for being a part of the show today. They're like, oh God, wheel her out.
This is great. Well, let's commit to it now. Us three.
Just sign up, and the producers.
And anyone who listens to this podcast, anyone who wants to share in these experiences, we'll just set up we'll have one of those, it'll be like a village, more like a retirement village. That's what it'll be.
Only really just so people, A, don't mind the stories, but B, believe me.
Exactly.
Yes,
I will be seen as
We'll
mad.
do a little summertime ball every year.
Yeah.
It'd be great. You can go and host it and do everything. You know?
How was it?
Post it in the grounds.
How was it up in VIP? Because you've seen everyone there from Jedward to Peter Crouch, didn't you?
I did. I popped up there because our families were in there actually, and had a little mooch around.
Get where water doesn't go, don't
Right.
they?
Crazy. So they were telling me they managed to blag tickets the night before
For Beyonce.
and yet they end up there. It's extraordinary.
They've got better connections than like Mariah Carey or Will Smith had in terms of getting in.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I saw a couple of the sidemen there.
Were they
as
there
well.
as well?
They were there, and yes, at one point I was kind of at the top with my daughter, and Crouchy came over, and all his family were there.
Was Peter Crouch getting glitter on his face?
I
I'm
think
sure
he was.
queuing with all the little girls to get his face done. I was like, this is amazing.
Well, I mean,
in
his
the
kids-
queue with loads of little girls.
His kids were getting it done, but I think you're right, because of the conversation, because we're in a queue and it moved forward. They did end up at a point where I think technically
just sat
Crouchy
down.
was next, and I had to walk away. So I would like to know if he did.
I like the thought that he doesn't really know what's going on. He's ended up sitting down thinking, what's this? And then, beard full of...
Yeah, he was
Bless
getting
him.
loads of pictures taken as well, weren't he? Bless him.
There was all sorts of people floating about. Jaden Smith, of course, who ended up on stage.
That's
No
cool.
way.
It was Father's Day. I mean, that was the other side of this. There was some really special Father's Day moments throughout the whole thing.
Trying
as well.
to think what else. Oh, tell them about the dressing room we were in and the signs that were
Oh,
up. That
right.
was
Dressing
brilliant.
room?
I mean,
The dressing cupboard.
I mean, I've had worse before, where once we were literally in
Here we
one of
go.
the bigger toilets. And what they did, I didn't know it was a toilet, so they very cleverly put curtains around, and then there's mirrors and seats, and you go, oh, a bit cramped in here, but it's all right. And then I remember at one point, one year, going, oh, I need the loo, and someone went, Bog's behind that curtain. I was like, what? And when I pulled it
Bugs
open,
behind curtain, duck.
we were in the disabled loo, and it was like literally the toilet was
Brilliant.
open in the room, and there was like a little shower area as well. I thought that's the glamour of the presenters, because in terms of celebrity, we are nothing in that place, are we? We are at the bottom of the ranks,
and rightly so.
Well, of course, rightly so. Mariah Carey needs 10 dressing rooms, for which she renamed Mimi's World. Her dressing rooms got rebranded. Did you know that?
Yeah, she got put like special curtains and stuff in, which again you want from people like Mariah Carey. You want her to have a big rider. It's Mariah. You don't want her coming in and saying, "Oh bloody hell, you know how much cheese is in Asda's these days." That's not what Mariah Carey's going to do.
No.
You don't want to be in Man of the People. You want to be in a diva superstar. That's why you can't do. With certain celebs, not everyone.
Yeah, you do with her. She's earned it, and she's epic, and the talent sort of backs it up, the clout.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's her aura, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that's what you want from Mariah Carey, and if you want that, then this is what comes with it.
We will get into Mariah Carey more because I want to go. There's so much to talk about with that.
Very quickly on the dressing room thing. So the dressing room that we were in, this was a good one.
We didn't actually describe it.
Did you see the little sign that was in there? This was great. So basically, to make the dressing room, what they've done, we think, is there's a room.
It'll be a changing room in Wembley, won't it?
Yeah, it would be. I think it would technically be one room normally.
Okay.
But because there's so many artists this year, what they've done is they've almost put it in half. There's like a dividing wall, which they've put in. So we're on one side, and then I guess there's a dressing room on the other side. Well, there is a dressing room on the other side of it. So if you imagine there's a wall, but there's a big old gap at the top. Now, you might miss it, but what was amazing is in our dressing room there was a couple of signs there, and I took a picture of them, and they said, Tate McRae and Rita Ora have dressing rooms behind this wall. Please be mindful what you say, which is great advice, because obviously us three in that little area...
Nattering away.
Saying all sorts.
Yeah.
And the person who put it up there did it because there has been a previous incident.
Wow, and this is... fine, go for it.
There's been a previous incident. I will not name the band or the person.
It was a band, though.
Okay, it was a band. Great. There was a band behind
I love this.
Behind that partition once that we were in getting our hair and makeup done, but actually for once we were being quite quiet. So they didn't know we were the other side of the wall, and we overheard a lot.
Oh, I think I've heard, and they were going mad. Weren't they falling out with each other?
Yeah, they were all falling out with each other, and a lot was said, and we heard the whole thing, and then it just, let's just say it escalated. But, well, no, it didn't escalate like that, but as in just in terms of drama. And then that's when we thought we've got to be very careful in these
that was
situations.
great listening to it, though, wasn't it?
Juicy.
It was, because they definitely wouldn't have wanted what they were saying heard.
Oh, this is good.
We really can't say anymore because we would get in trouble. But that's the reason why that was there. And our dressing room was the size of a small corridor.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty horrific,
Well,
wasn't
we
it?
won't complain, even though we have. But yeah, it was. I didn't eat all day on Sunday.
You were the biggest diva, though. We haven't spoke about the lift incident.
Oh, no. Right. I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
no.
Shani.
So for context, hate lifts. I'm terrified of lifts. My biggest fear was getting stuck in a lift. And Callum warned me the night before, which I wish he didn't, because that would just stress me out. Because he texted me saying, just to let you know, I'm going to have to get in a lift tomorrow, because we've got to get you up to the red carpet to get your pictures taken and do some press interviews, and it's on like the 4th floor. And the only way really to get there is a lift, even though you can always get stairs, because for legal reasons you have to have stairs as well. But anyway, so I'm going to that. So I got in a
It's like
lift.
to the top of Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, we could have walked, which
No,
I don't
come
mind.
on.
Anyway, we got
John,
in the
we're
lift.
in the basement of Wembley Stadium. We got to get to the top of it.
We got in a lift, and everyone's like looking at me going, "You all right?" Which makes you more panicky. And then just loads of people start piling in, didn't they?
Yeah.
It did get busy, I'll give you that. And I looked you in the eye, and you were like a little deer. His little eyes had gone all wide, and I thought, he's panicking, he's going to go. And you were like, you're like this, I'm fine.
And then
You know that meme of who's the actor from Spider-Man? That meme where he's in the back of the car. I'll find it. That's what you went eyes wide. You went.
And then the problem was the door wouldn't close.
Yeah.
It sort of went a bit weird. So you then went, it's fine, I'll walk.
No,
I'll
I went in the middle of everyone. I went, I'm out, and just stormed out. I just stormed out. I went, I'm not doing this. I'm getting the stairs.
So anyway, he was persuaded back in the lift. And then the funniest thing that happens, because the lift by now has gone all sorts of, people have pressed buttons, all sorts. It's gone where we need to go up. It's gone down a level.
Oh, it's just the worst.
There's a load of people that are waiting for this lift.
With catering trolleys.
All sorts of people. I think there was a tour going on, wasn't there? And I'm sure there was one pop star or pop star entourage waiting for this lift. Doors open. Producer Callum, wary that obviously Jordan isn't good in lifts, especially if they're busy, has turned around and gone, no one else in here.
No.
But there's only like me and Jordan and producer Callum.
I left you to it. You see, I went in the other
You
one.
went in the other one, and
That's where I think you might have looked like a diva, but you're not. You were terrified, and the lift's getting busier.
the pop star was Zara Larsson. We wouldn't let her in.
Okay.
So you wouldn't let Zara Larsson. He went no to Zara.
Larsson.
Yeah.
The door's closed and you're in
Sean,
it.
it's quite a big lift with 3 of us in.
But then what was the other lift incident? Are we going to come back to that one?
Oh no, the other lift incident was, again, I was panicking, and this...
Same time in the lift,
No,
or
this
just later?
was when I went to go further up, even higher up at Wembley, to record some ITV links, and we were going back down, and the lift opened, and there was a lady there, capital listener. She had a tray of drinks. The lift opened, I went, hiya, and she just dropped all the drinks. I did feel like Hugh Grant in that moment. And I went, oh, sorry, and then the lift doors just shut.
So you couldn't even help her.
I like to think that she was shocked at just seeing me.
But you might have just made a jump because she was so close to the
But it
doors.
was, I just went, hiya, and she dropped the, tray of drinks. And Monday's show was, well, Sean did it in a tracksuit. I've never seen you do a show in a tracksuit since we've been doing this together, which sums it up. Yeah, I can't remember Monday's show at all. I'd done it on 3 hours sleep, because then you get back to the hotel, it was midnight, and I thought, right, I'll get 5 hours sleep. We're up at 5, because we were right next to work. Fell asleep at 1:30.
We're back so late because it takes so long to get out of Wembley Stadium.
wired.
There's crowds, and you're right. We were up early. You treated us to a Mackey's.
Oh yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that. But what ended up happening was you said, what about a milkshake, which was like the best idea ever. Banana milkshake. They're just not as thick as they used to be, the old Mackey shakes. So I went to I took a big gulp because I've not had one in ages, thinking it would be so hard to suck it up. Don't clip that out of context.
Yep.
And I then it splurted all over me. Don't put that out of context
Clip
either.
all this up.
No, because they'll do it. They'll just put it all together, and this will look awful. But it'll sell the podcast really well. So I was covered, and it was all. And it all splashed back in my face, and then Chris took a video of it.
We all doing good?
Yeah, we're doing great.
Good. Sean, you fine there? Just a little spillage, my love. God.
Yeah, banana milkshake all down the jumper. And then Sean forgot we were interviewing Jodie Comer after the show.
Oh, don't! Because also, so I'd had my hair all like really waved to look a bit mermaidy, and it was all nice when it was all back and pinned. I looked like, Professor Doc Brown out of Back to the Future. It's like, Marty, get to the time machine. I literally, my hair was out here. I had dribble down my top, and they're like, oh, Jodie Comer's after the show. I thought, are you kidding me? One of the most beautiful women on this planet.
Stunning.
She comes in glowing, didn't she?
Oh, she looks so good. And the studio stunk of Mackey's.
Yeah.
She comes in. Have you noticed that's the first guest? You might have spotted there was no photo with Jodie Comer. That is the first guest I think
we
we've
just said we
not
don't
had a picture
yeah,
with.
Like, don't worry, it's good. The audio was great.
It's
You had
Mackey's and
stains on your jumper.
I looked revolting. It was a low point for me because I knew I looked gross.
pungent smell. It was horrible.
You're brave. You're brave
We will-
enticing us to tell the story.
No, we're not. That's for another time. That's our fishing trip. Okay.
What do we call it?
Hold on.
What should we call
on.
it?
No,
It's
because
our
we could
fishing
dangerously
trip.
give away too much information.
Okay,
there.
well, let's just call it.
It's our fishing trip. We'll one day maybe reveal what happened on Monday.
Brown Monday.
We're doing a bit of a Summertime Ball debrief episode for you today because it's the week after Summertime Ball. It is the UK's biggest summer party. It is absolutely fantastic. And I'm not doing this as it sounds a bit North Korea, but only Global and Capital could do this, really. They could only pull it off. 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. 18 world-class artists, however many it was. It was great, but we need to talk about Mariah Carey. We've got a whole section dedicated to Mariah Carey because we interviewed her backstage and it was mental. First of all, she had her own studio made for her.
That was incredible. We've never ever done that before. We had there was a door in Wembley Stadium I've never been through that went into was like an auditorium It was like a cinema room, wasn't it, or something? But we'd built a stage. The lighting had to be soft, pink, drapes, velvet. There was a throne.
She wanted a throne.
There was genuinely a throne for her to sit on, and then we had like a chaise longue that we had to sit on.
It was brilliant.
It was
and
fantastic.
All the people around her as well. They're just so brilliantly professional. It was like they were almost military. Like, do you know what I mean? The way that they spoke, the efficiency of them. So we had to go in and they showed us the room, and then we had to leave again.
Because she wanted to check it.
Because then Mariah was going to check it.
Personally.
And then what was really nice is we were explained, because what Mariah likes to do is be ready, and then we enter her circle.
Which I am so glad that happened, because I don't think, I've said this before, it wasn't an interview, it was the Mariah Carey experience.
Yes.
You have certain artists in this world where you get an experience with them. Tom Cruise is one of those where you get to experience the Tom Cruise effect. Mariah Carey is another one, and I'm sure there'll be other people along the way that we will have this feeling about. I was the first to walk through. I just saw the back of her head, and at this point it could have been someone in a wig. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't sure if it was definitely her, and I then felt my heart pounding. So I had to walk behind her and behind the chaise longue to walk into the shot, and there she was in full HD. She looked airbrushed to the face.
It's mad.
I've never seen anyone look so beautiful, so perfect, and she was just glowing like a unicorn. But my favourite bit was, it felt quite natural, because I feel like out of the three of us, I'm the most natural of the greeters.
Yes.
You
I
two
didn't know what to
panic.
do.
You
Right?
pulled a blinder here.
You two panic. So I went in and I read the room. I thought, she's got beautiful makeup on. I'm just going to do air kiss. 1, 2. And I thought, I know she'll want to. So we did 1, 2.
Oh,
and it
what?
was
So you
lovely.
weren't told to do that?
No.
No.
Oh, I was wondering why I did.
Chris.
I've-
I see you coming next,
Oh,
and
I
I
didn't know
saw,
what to do.
Panicked.
I witnessed you go for a quick handshake, or the hand came out.
I didn't know what to do, Sean, because I thought I'm not doing the air kiss thing, because I've never done that.
The hand came out.
There were
but
so
she
many
wasn't gonna
problems.
touch you.
Girl is always a trickier greeting.
Yes.
It's Mariah Carey.
Tell her what you did.
So we went right. So I saw the hand go out. I saw her hands not move. He quickly analysed
did.
that
I
and
pivoted.
assessed and pivoted and reversed back. And then, in sheer panic, he bowed. He bowed his head, and then you saw him do it.
His dickhead mate here
Came in and bowed.
the same thing. Knob Eddie, I did the same thing.
Had to be done.
But
I actually don't regret that.
no, I thought it was great because there's something to talk about. And then everyone were a bit panicky. Then we've got a producer, our creative producer, bless him. We call him Nana Toes because he is a nana.
And he's got poorly toes after.
Yeah, he's got poorly toes, so we call him Nana
What
Toes.
is that about? Is that gout?
No.
Is it?
Out.
What is the
I don't
toes
know
thing
what
about?
something
Why is he
happened
called
to his
Nana
toes.
Toes?
No, when he first started,
He was in sandals or something.
yeah, he was in slippers when he first started because at his last place he dropped a box on his big toe.
Oh, I thought it was a circulation issue. I didn't think it was
But so British that because his first week he wore slippers, he's been called Nana Toes ever
Because
since.
the first week I met him, I'd felt like I'd known him for years, bless him, and he works hard. He's our creative producer, so he comes up with all the questions for guests and big ideas we have. And he went, we were going to a junket, and he went, right, George, we'll head over in a minute, we'll walk over, just go and get my slippers for me, and I'll put my slippers on my... Because he was walking around with bare feet, so I had to get his slippers for him. Anyway, he was doing his bit, because he were nervous as well, and his job's to like make us feel calm, because he's our producer.
Yeah, and he's warming them up, which he does.
Which
yeah.
he does great, but
Yep.
he was trying to warm Mariah, and he's going, oh, Mariah, I loved you in 1993 when you did that, and I just went with my hands, calm down.
We're all panicking.
We're all panicking.
You two were bowing.
It's fine, and he's going, do you know my friend Josie Gibson? I'm big friends with you. And I was like, Nana, not
These
now.
two sit down. For anyone who wants to like just imagine the visuals, if you've seen Step Brothers, these two might as well have been in tuxedos. You sat down, you're like saying hello, and then you and Chris, hello, Miss Lady. They've both absolutely lost their heads. I'm trying to keep it cool. Obviously, inside, I'm also freaking out. But what a cool... Can we just stand up for her for a minute and say she has so much
great.
flack for being a diva, but like in a negative way. People say, oh my God, she's got this light that has to follow her around and she demands 500 white roses in her room. There's always been... I mean, it's quite cool to have those rumours, I think.
Great.
But she wasn't a mean diva. She was a fabulous diva.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Totally
these
with
two
you.
worlds are getting mixed up, I think. I think the word diva is the situation here, right? Because diva can be like Jordan when, you
I'm
know...
not a diva.
Well, you do lean into it a bit, love. Sometimes. It was a bit like... Around the tooth stuff, it was getting a bit sick.
I was in fucking agony. I had a fucking wisdom tooth coming through. I wasn't being...
But then there's the other type of diva,
Just
which
quickly,
is just
Chris
a wonderful...
Chris was thoroughly enjoying the amount of dentists that were going to arrive that
mate.
day.
You
And
never
Chris
would've-
was trying to get another one to turn up, so there was just loads of dentists.
You never would have done this at the other place.
No, I wouldn't have had a dentist sent out to me. No, fair enough. But here, they were like, we'll send a dentist out and we'll sort the invoice out. I was like, right, sound. I mean, I
Yeah, but because of that, because you did say earlier, it's like, oh, my dentist came out, which, by the way, is a mad thing to say. The truth of this situation is, Jordan gave tickets to the ball to your dentist last year, right?
Yeah.
Since then, you've had a lovely relationship.
Yeah, we get on really
so when
well.
Jordan's tooth was hurting,
She offered.
she said, oh, well, I'll come out because, you know, we've got rehearsals on the Friday, all of that. In the time that has happened, the lovely people here have gone, well, we'll sort you a dentist as well. So I thought it was so funny that all of a sudden 2 dentists appeared and you're loving it. You're like going, just the whole demeanour is like, you know, it was like, yeah, so we've got a dentist coming. You're like, okay, so is my dentist going to be here first and then the next dentist? And I was looking at you going like, so I said to Sian,
Chris is looking at me like under the desk because we sit the other side of the desk to you. He's looking at me going, he's got that glint in his eye because he's now loving it and enjoying it.
So I've started piping up going, yeah, shall I see if I can get hold of a dentist as well? Like,
And then you were encouraging exec producer Cal. He's like,
Yeah.
tell Brent that we need another
yeah,
dentist.
tell another, yeah.
I'm still in pain right now,
I
by
know.
the way. It's still throbby. It's still
Joking
throbby.
aside, I do get that would have been agony, but it was very funny. It was very funny.
Toothache is annoying.
The chaos
isn't it?
around it. But we've gone off tangent. What were we talking about?
Mariah
Mariah
Carey.
Carey diva thing.
So-
but just on that word diva, my point is the negative connotations of it. If you were to say Mariah Carey's a diva, to a lot of people, including myself, when it's associated with her, I mean that in like it was like meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
It was like. But she's pop royalty, and I love everything that's around that. I love that she's got a throne. I love that it's not unreasonable. It's just so extra,
Yeah.
and I really like that.
She was great. We played a game called Bored Now, which you can see on Global Player, the official Capital app. Go on there and watch it. And basically, we played into her diva-ishness. But didn't Bored Now come from Roman? Didn't he? Didn't he?
Bored now.
So
it
if-
might have done.
That's, I
actually.
think, where the idea came
Oh,
from,
funny.
which I love. And I've someone told me that Roman used to do that to wind the producer up a bit. And so
Oh yes, in
yeah.
meetings. It's
So now
true.
in meetings, like Roman would go bored now, and that I've started. So that's where it came from, which I
Oh,
think's
right.
a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
quite funny.
she's the idea of the game was if we were boring her, she could just press a big buzzer and go bored now. She played up to it. It was great. It was fantastic. We've interviewed Mariah Carey. She shared it on her socials as well. She shared the full interview and a picture of us on her Instagram, which was great. So the Bong Game is something we play every day at 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a massive game. The little peek behind the curtain. When I first started it was Chris's idea because you used to listen to this on the way to school, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's been on Capital Breakfast since Chris Tarrant, weren't it?
Yeah,
it?
well, I used to listen to this game, when Chris Tarrant was doing it. And for me, it's a legendary game of radio, and one that you might have listened to when you know, potentially when it was on Capital in the past. But the idea of bringing it back it was a massive team effort to try and bring this great feature back to the radio, and I love that we get to do it.
And I'll be honest, when he said it to me, I wasn't keen, because I was like, I'm starting here, I want to come in, I've got loads of ideas, it's a new show, we can't be doing something they did in the 80s and 90s. And then I heard a clip of it, and I was like, oh, this is a proper radio game, this is like really good radio. So when we launched it, we've done it at 7:45, and within weeks of us doing it on the breakfast show, it's one of those word of mouths. Whenever we get stopped in the street, people ask us about it, don't they?
Yeah, I think what's been fun about it, for me, the most enjoyable thing has been our show turning it all about the Bong Man, because he was just a voice, and I don't think they ever did this on the previous games, where we were started doing those almost like Chuck Norris type rumours about him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he can slam a revolving door, stuff like that. So it became like a running joke that every week we'd say a new fact about the Bong Man. This Bong Man became so real that I imagine him now when we do it. And he is a real voice. Yeah. He's a real man.
But he's turned into a character on the show.
Yeah, but he's turned a real character. So then the thought of, we're in a meeting about the ball, and we were like, well, what if we did a live Bong game? And to be honest, I expected that idea to be shut down, but it was encouraged. And then it was like, well, could we actually get him coming on the stage? So all these ideas felt like a bit of a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Because how on earth would we ever get to play it with 80,000? It would be very logistically difficult.
But also, what a great challenge, because
that's how you've seen it.
Because I don't think this has been done before. The idea of bringing a radio feature to life in the middle of Wembley, especially, I don't think at Wembley Stadium. You know, so as a radio nerd, quite cool that this radio feature could be on stage in front of so many people. There's logistical problems with it, of course, but also it's a kind of bit of a dilemma that you then have, or that we have, in that we're building up a character of the Bong Man, and he's this kind of evil, and you can have fun with it, but that's because it plays on people's imagination. How do you represent that guy that all people will see differently on stage? Does it ruin the illusion for a lot of people if they see the Bong Man? Do you see what I mean?
And a bit like the Stig in Top Gear, or anything, or the banker in Deal or No Deal. You're right. The imagination's better than anything that you could actually come up with. So, but I did actually think, I was genuinely impressed. The way they did it.
It was perfect.
It was spot on, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's one of them where I thought, right, let's bring it to life. Let's do it on stage. And then I had a bit of a wobble on Friday. Shock. Because I was like, I just don't know if this is going to work. People are going to be like bored. They're going to like shut up, get the next act on. So I think it was a full 5-6 minutes we were on stage for, wasn't it? Which is a long time. And we did it on stage. We rehearsed it, to be fair. We really rehearsed it and practiced it, which I'm so glad we did. And Sean, you called for us to do another one on Sunday morning, which I'm glad you did.
By the way, you can only rehearse that so much because it's an honest game. It's not that the contestant who was on there was an actor or anything like that. It wasn't.
We rehearsed without them.
We rehearsed without them. They also got to go see what it was like on the centre of the stage.
Because we wanted every scenario. We wanted to know every scenario, because it could have been 4 different things that happened, because we was actually playing it as live.
But it's so important that you're playing the game properly with someone who is genuinely playing the game, and that throws up its own logistical problems.
And we did it on stage in front of 80,000 people. Didn't know how well it went, and then just take a listen to this. Wembley absolutely loved it.
Wow! What about that? JLS, everybody! Hello again, it's Jordan, Chris and Sean from Capital Breakfast, and we have something very special for you right now.
Yes, now, if you're a regular listener, you will know there's a game that we play every single day. People up and down the UK, they're late for school, they're late for work, for one game.
It's the Bong Game. Yeah, come on. How many people love the Bong Game? We do it every day on our show, 7:45.
Basically, you have to defeat the Bong Man, who is in charge of all the cash. If you do that, you could win a load of money.
Yeah, now this is massive because they said it couldn't be done. And we said, yes, it can.
Yes.
We are going to do this thanks to Pepsi right here in front of a live crowd of 80,000 people for the first time ever.
Okay, so Wembley, make some noise for one lucky contestant who is going to take on the Bong Man live in front of 80,000 people. She's a bit nervous, so please be lovely. Give it up for Jennifer from Grimsby!
Oh my God. Hello, Wembley.
Jennifer!
Hi.
How are you feeling?
A bit scared.
I get it. Look, it's nerve-wracking enough doing it when we do it in the mornings on the radio, but to do it in front of 80,000 people here at Wembley Stadium, I mean, you'll be fine, but are you a little bit nervous?
Yeah, just a bit.
Excited?
Yeah.
All right, that's the main thing.
Terrified.
Jennifer, you've got no reason to be nervous because we've all got her back, haven't we?
Yeah, come on.
Capital Breakfast listeners, we stick together, don't we? Come on. It's going to work exactly the way it does every single day. The Bong Man will offer increasing amounts of money. All Jennifer has to do is shout, "Stop!" before she hears this sound.
It goes through me like a freight train, that noise. Right, Jennifer, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, take a little seat on there for us. Come on, you've got this. And when you're comfortable and when you're ready, we just need to hear your best practice stop in 3, 2, 1.
Stop!
It's good. That's very good. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Jennifer's ready. Wembley, are you ready? Well, there's just one person missing from the stage.
The Bong Man. 50 pounds. £75. £750. £1,313. £1,950. £2,500. £3,100. £3,900. £4,500.
So there you are. If you're listening to this, you would have just heard what happened on stage when we played the Bong Game live at Wembley, but also you can watch it as well. There's
I would
visuals
like to watch it back because I think the way it was shot was way more dramatic than even us three could see because we were obviously on stage, but the visual is the Bong Man walking down that 30-foot runway behind this woman who has no idea he's there. And I think what I found exciting is for those who understood the Bong Game, they were playing along and sort of almost willing her to stop at certain amounts. I think some people thought it was almost like, what time is it, Mr. Wolf?
Yeah.
And they thought that she had to stop before he got to her. And hearing the crowd getting more and more just like electric as he got closer, it gave me goosebumps.
It was great. I am so glad we did it, and hopefully we can do it at Jingle Bell Ball. Right, let's move on to the last part of the episode. Should we go on to some questions? Remember, you can get in touch. It's aftershowshow@capitalfm.com. I know that because I'm reading it off the iPad. Aftershowshow@capitalfm.com. So we've had some questions in. Are you ready for these?
Yeah, also, just to add, we did obviously promise a foot picture behind us. We are listening to you and we are sticking with what we're saying, but because this is a bit of a special summertime ball edition.
They didn't want the foot.
They didn't want the foot in the back of it.
So next episode or in a couple of episodes.
It's probably going to be a couple of episodes.
Can you remind me why we've got feet pictures
Can't remember,
coming in?
but we've had plenty sent in. And if you haven't had a chance yet, send your feet.
yeah.
Aftershowshow@capitalfm.com.
Send a picture.
Wait, on that one, just before you even get stuck in, because I've got a DM that I need to bring up from Lisa. It says,
Okay.
I've just watched episode 2 of After the Show talking about OnlyFans accounts and then feet chat. That's how we got
That's
onto
how we got onto it.
wanting a
Yes,
photograph
that
of
was
feet
it.
behind
There we
us.
go.
Jordan's feet are on Wiki Feet. He knows this because he's looked at his ratings. I'm not a perv. He's talked about this on his Sexted podcast with William.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. We used to do a feature of it with Vic. I used to do
Yeah.
a feature of it with Vic on
What
the,
do
at
you
the
mean?
old place. We used to have like a... Vic had like a really high Wiki Feet rating. And she always
Vicky
got...
feet.
Vicky Feet.
No, I'm being serious now. What is Wiki Feet?
It's like a... It's
People can upload pictures of your feet.
It's
Am
like...
I on there?
Yeah,
Probably. I bet you'll be on there. Have a
Can we
quick
look?
look. Have a quick look.
What, we've got rated?
Oh yeah, hang on. I've been told, right, so, yeah, on there. Vic used to be on there, and she used to get annoyed if I ever beat her, because some weeks I used to encourage people to rate me on there. That was at the old place. But yeah, so I'm looking here. I've got 4.7 on WikiFeet. Chris, I've got 1.27, and Sean, you've got 4.83. So it's loads of basically blokes that are into feet, and it's just close-up pictures on red carpets and
Oh
stuff.
my God, I've put my name in. There's 221 pictures of my feet. Are you kidding me?
Did you never know that?
No.
Wiki feet's weird.
There's one of me on Lorraine on VE Day. That feels...
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. Oh my God.
Right, as Sean just discovers,
You might find it's the same person as well.
Let's have a look, Sean. What you?
I mean, there's just endless
Yeah, and there'll be
feet
zoomed-in
pics.
pictures of your feet and stuff.
There's my feet on this on Lorraine on VE
Mm.
Day. That's inappropriate. I mean, it's just... Where was I there? I've never even seen these pictures.
There you go. Whilst
Anyway.
she goes through that, Jenny in Wolverhampton says, have you, this is a good one, ever had any bad wardrobe malfunctions at the balls? I think Jenny knows what she's asking here.
Does she mean at the Jingle Bell or Summertime balls,
Yeah.
or ball-specific wardrobe malfunction?
I had a very bad case of moose knuckle at the Jingle Bell ball.
Yeah,
last
that was
year.
that was the famous one. You actually started going massive on. I think it was Twitter or X. That was really kind of you were going the rounds there.
People
It was a
had
brown
zoomed
suit,
Could have been Andy.
but in a certain light. Yeah,
Well,
the old moose knuckle there.
I was going to say, because for a girl, obviously you call it a camel toe, and so you were getting a lot of camel emojis, but then the moose emoji sort of started
Yeah,
appearing
and
on
he
different
started
pictures.
calling me Moose round that weekend, and everyone was nicknaming me Moose, and he was going, talk to me, Moose, talk to me, like Top Gun, because the trousers were high-waisted, but there was, I for certain gentlemen. Danny Inchuro says, before we finish, do you actually get to see any of the show when you're at the Capital Summertime Ball? No, being honest. Hardly any.
It's probably one of the most frustrating parts of it, because we spend all this time bigging it up and we know how good it is, and all I really want to do is stand with that front view and watch the entire thing. I saw a bit of Will Smith.
I saw a bit of Will Smith.
I got the Fresh Prince bit, which I was so pleased to
Yeah.
witness. But other than that, I didn't see much more. Did you?
No. I saw a bit of Mariah Carey.
Oh yes,
at
I
the
did
end,
see a bit of
so when we
Mariah
go
at
up
the
to
end.
see
I
some
saw
family,
Mariah
saw
at the
that.
end, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those really.
Because you basically, you go on stage, you do your links, and then you've got to go and do a radio interview. Then you've got to go and interview some of the acts and pop stars for ITV. Then you've got to go and record some ITV links. There's just a million and one things going on.
I remember the first time I ever did a ball here, and it was a Jingle Bell ball, so you film them at the O2. And I had this really, because I was all like buzzing, couldn't wait to watch it. I thought that's what I would be doing, and then obviously I didn't. And I just remember a sad moment of sitting in a dressing room, like in the disabled toilets, basically. I was sat in the loos. I was sat on a sad little seat with like a kebab in a box, and I was watching the Jingle Bell Ball on a tiny screen whilst I could hear it out of sync above me because I was in the same building watching it.
I would say
was
though,
sad.
compared to anything else I've kind of ever been involved in that could be deemed to be a sort of radio festival or a show, it is unlike anything.
it is.
You know, for all we might, because we're just honest about our own experiences here.
It's
or,
amazing.
Or like
Oh,
little funny things.
yeah, of course.
I've got to say, the actual show itself, when I do get to see it, and we see a lot in rehearsals and sound checks and all of that, you would not believe the amount of work and effort and organisation it all takes. And from a kind of show point of view, I just find it so impressive that many artists runs like how you listen to Capital. It's hit after hit,
One after
pop
the
star
other.
after pop star.
Yeah.
Everything is organised. Everything is thought through, rehearsed. I've got so much respect. The very first time I got involved in one of these balls, I was almost quite intimidated with how well organised it was. It's not really what I've been used to. And
It's
I
like
mean it
an
in the
endurance.
best possible way.
Yes.
It is an unbelievable show.
It is.
It is.
It is. You can watch it all on Global Player, the official Capital app. You can also listen to all these episodes on there whenever you want. Obviously, we're going to say you got to do it. Hit subscribe, follow. Don't forget to rate and review us. Tell your mates about it as well. And if you want to get involved, you can send us an email. It's aftershowshow@capitalfm.com, aftershowshow@capitalfm.com, or just DM us on all social media. We'll
Shall
see
I
you
say-
next week. Oh, go on.
Yes.
I was just going to say, shall I see if we've actually had any nice comments?
Yeah,
Go
do
on.
that. And whilst you're doing that, we should say as well, we're actually off the radio next week, but we will have a podcast out the following Saturday as well.
Oh,
So it's
that's
all good.
cool.
Podcast carries on as normal. We're off the radio next week.
We've
and
had
then
some
we'll be
nice
back the week
reviews,
after.
by the way. I've seen some.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Chris, that you did your motivational maths exam speech?
Oh, yeah.
We had a message, a little comment under the Mumps Magaluf and Miriam Margolyes episode
What a title.
from Barry, who said, "Hi guys, just listening to the pod on my sun lounger in Portugal. I got Chris's speech and I was clapping and going, 'Yes, mate!' My wife was like, 'Baz, you're shouting, your AirPods are in.'" So that's a great comment.
cool.
So yeah, please leave your comments and any funny stories, like they've just said, do send them in because we will see them, we will read them out.
We'll see you next week.